up with. Not quite the waves you see on Hawaii, but they're good enough for Terry. Let's hear it for our surface dolphin. To our two Atlantic bottlenose dolphins. They go by the names of Katie and Terry. And around here, the end is affectionately known as the tail end. I'd like to thank you all for joining us here at the Pacific Pavilion, and please enjoy the rest of your afternoon here at Sounds Ferry Farm. Bye-bye, everyone. All right, good job there, ladies. Announcement to make before we get down to the dolphin show here. As you can see, we've had quite a few high winds here today. Thank you very much, ladies, for pulling this stuff out of the pool for me. We've been pulling all kinds of debris in the high winds. So unfortunately, in a situation like this, we don't work our sea lions because things like this could come down on them while they're on the land here and could actually hurt the animals. So due to the safety of our animals, we have canceled the sea lion portion of the show. The dolphins are far more comfortable in the wind in the sense that they can go below the surface of the water when a large gust comes and things come down, like you can see right there. When a large gust comes, they exactly know what to do, and so therefore, they of course are a lot more cooperative in the wind. They have had a little bit of trouble here today, so what we're going to do is try and get through a dolphin show here today with the animals. So we appreciate your patience, and we thank you for your understanding with the sea lion portion. Right now, I would like to introduce you personally to our two Atlantic bottlenose dolphins. They go by the names of Katie and Terry. Right now, I would like to take just a moment out to introduce them to you a little bit more personally so that we can tell them apart here throughout the presentation. Now, always stationing to my right throughout the performance, weighing in at 350 pounds, she's 11 years old, and this young lady, well, this is Katie. Always stationed over here to my left, she is the larger of the two, weighing in at 400 feminine pounds. She is 13 years old, and this young lady, well, this is Terry. Well, right now, I could use the help from each and every one of you out there in the audience. What I'd like you to do is raise up your right hand. Come on, if you don't know which one it is, look around. Somebody out there has to have it, right? And I'd like you to just take it and wave it back and forth just like this. Now, maybe if you wave at them, they'll wave right on back to you, giving you a nice friendly flipper wave. Hello. Well, as you can see, both of our stars, well, they're perfectly adapted for life in the water. Now, the fins that the dolphins just used to wave hello to you with, these are called their pectoral fins. Now, they are located on either side of the dolphin's body, and they're used for twisting, turning, and changing direction. An interesting fact about these fins, if you were to take an x-ray of one, you would see 5 digits, just like the 5 digits in our hands. Now, another fin that's very important to the animals is located in the center of the dolphin's back. This is called the dorsal fin. This fin is used for stability and balance, and it's made almost entirely out of a cartilage-like substance. But the most important fin that the animals have is located here at the base or the back of the animal. Now this is known as the tail or the fluke. This is where all the power, speed, and swimming comes from. And the animals use this tail in an up and down motion, not side to side like fish do. Now hopefully everybody out there does realize that dolphins are air-breathing, warm-blooded mammals, just like you and me. Now the dolphins breathe through the holes on the tops of their heads called their blowholes. Now they can also make sounds to this hole, little clicks, squeaks, and whistles, which we would like you to listen to. Now all of these sounds that the dolphins will be making will be coming from out of their blowhole. The dolphins have a little tiny air sac, which is located inside, which enables them to produce the sounds that you're about to hear. Remember, none of these sounds will be coming from the dolphin's mouth. Now the first sound, this is Katie's favorite, sounds a bit like a motorboat or clicking. And the last sound, this is going to come from Terry, and it sounds a bit like singing. Well, give them a big hand, folks. I'd like to see how you got there, you know. Now, another very unique characteristic of dolphins is the ability to echolocate. Now, this is otherwise known as sonar, or the dolphin's ability to see with sound. Now, how it works is pretty simple. The dolphin dolphins actually send out a series of sounds from their forehead or their melon area. Now these bounce off an object, return to them through their chin or their lower jaw, and this gives them a TV-like image of what the object is and where it is. Now this allows them to travel through murky water when visibility might not be so good, also keep in contact with members of their own pod, and also detect their schools of fish or their prey. However, dolphins do have excellent eyesight. Now they see both above as well as below the surface of the water, much clearer than we can underneath, and almost as good as we can above the surface. In fact, the dolphins' eyes move independently from one another, and this allows them to scope out the water in different directions. Well, we're going to demonstrate this excellent eyesight for you with a behavior called the tandem high jump. Now this requires our stars to go down to the bottom 16 feet, come up into the air approximately 18 feet, and attempt to meet me at the top of the tower and touch my two outstretched hands. Now this does take a lot of timing, eyesight, and coordination on their part. The dolphin's life is simply trying to survive what might be plentiful one day, such as fish, but be gone the next. Well, touch is an extremely important part of the dolphin's lifestyle, and that's one of the reasons that it works so well as a reward. Throughout the performance here, you may notice that I spend a lot of time touching the animals or rubbing them down in a favorite spot. This is a form of reinforcement. It's called tactile reinforcement, which generally means a massage or a rub down in a spot that the animal enjoys. Just because you don't always see me feeding the animals doesn't mean they're doing something incorrectly. It just means that they're getting another type of reward. Well, we notice that our animals spend quite a bit of time touching or rubbing one another. But we like to take things that the animals would naturally be able to do, shape them, and expand upon them. This next behavior we thought looked a little bit like cheek to cheek, belly to belly, and flipper to flipper with what we call the dolphin water waltz. By that famous dolphin. Anyone remember who it was? Flipper, right. Back in the 60s, Flipper made the dolphin tail walk famous. That's right, he danced to Sway of Your Hearts and across your screens with what we like to call a little bit of tail walking or fast dancing. But more importantly, this is an extension of a behavior called spy hopping. Now, spy hopping allows the dolphin or whale to either bring half to 3/4 of their body up and out of the water. They'll either travel backwards or in a circular motion. This allows them to bring their eyes and their ears above the surface to see and hear in different directions. Well, it hasn't changed much over the years, and back in the 60s, it looked something just like this. We know dolphins are also extremely playful animals by nature, and oftentimes, well, they can be found playing on the surf near shore. Well, there's a very good reason for this. Not only is it a lot of fun, but this allows the dolphin to basically catch a wave and travel almost effortlessly while conserving energy. Well, around here we have what we call an innovation session. What we like to do is throw a bunch of toys out of the pool and reward the animals for coming up with new and creative games with those toys. Well, they thought that was a pretty clever idea. Well, one day, Terry consistently started going to the blue discs here. She started pushing them around. We thought it looked a little bit like a dolphin playing in the surf near shore. We decided to reward her for it. We like to call this her custom-made surfboard, completed with a little surfing music, and this is what she came up with. Not quite the waves you see on Hawaii, but they're good enough for Terry. Let's hear it for our surfing dolphin. Down to our final characteristic, you know, dolphins are extremely athletic and acrobatic animals. Out in the ocean, they can often be seen flipping above the surface of the water, changing direction while in midair, or simply leaping for joy. These two are no exception to that rule, and right now we're going to show off some of the power, beauty, and strength of the Atlantic's bottlenose dolphins. bursts of speed of up to 25 miles per hour, and Terry is no exception to that rule. What I'd like you to do is focus your attention on the blue ball. Now, Terry's learned to do something a little different and unusual. What she's going to do is go down to the bottom 16 feet. She's going to come up into the air approximately 20 feet. She's going to attempt to flip while in midair and try and tag that blue ball with her tail. Now, she doesn't always get it, especially in the wind. It's going to be really difficult today, but let's keep our fingers crossed and see how she does. Our performance. We hope that you have enjoyed it. By seeing these animals up close and personal, we hope that you have gained a greater appreciation for these wonderful mammals so we can all learn to protect them out in the environment which we all share. And around here,